Yo, what's good, my quick crypto family and my coin factory family, back once more with another live stream, daily live stream, day 62. And we have a video for you, a stream for you, kind of going through the motions on, well, what Kaspa is and ultimately if Kaspa can replace and end Ethereum. We got this article published by Uphold's Director of Research, Dr. Martin Hyperweg, The Waffle on X, the End of Ethereum. I'm going to summarize what's happened in this article he spoke about. And, whilst he's talking about other, solutions, other chains like Solana, for example, I wanted to put my own little 2 cents on it, believing that actually it could be Kaspa to be the one that will flip and take over Ethereum in the years to come. Not saying it's going to happen, now or next year, but in the future, I do have a belief in that regard. So if always, if you enjoy this stream, leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe for more. And if you want to know more about crypto and market sentiment, then please feel free to join my free Discord server. Link on screen right now on my homepage, also in the chat, and also it's going to be in the description as well. What's up, Jay Honey, my man? Afternoon, folks. Welcome to October. You know it. Not meant to be October right now. It's not getting off to the strongest of starts, but I think it's just temporary. As always, we're very, very early into. We just started it, and we've got a lot of other news sources to cover, which is going to showcase that tides are going to turn very, very soon. Yo, Cody, my man, welcome back to the stream. And Toggle Delay, good morning to you too, sir. So, without further ado, get into some Kaspa news first. Only 2 sources of information today, really, for Kaspa. Not been that much for Kaspa, but then we'll get into the conversation based on whether Kaspa is going to end Ethereum or not. So, firstly, we're here from Kaspa Door. It's just a small video here. I'm just going to, show it what's on the screen here, as we can see. But ultimately, it's just proof that a sneak peek into the Kaspa's wallet. The fact that it's open source, it's secure, tested, and will go hand in hand with the marketplace. It's coming very, very soon. Obviously, this is very, very big to helping Kaspa, in its adoption phase, in the future, just helping it become, easier to utilize and whilst remaining to its decentralized nature, which is very, very good to see. So this sort of stuff coming out very, very soon, which will also help in the adoption for Chaos 20 going forward as well. And speaking of Chaos 20 as well, we had the Nacho Tangent collab wallets that happened very, very soon, which was so successful. 350 sold out in just 12 hours that they've now upped the ante, and now there are going to be 500 more additional wallets available to pre-order. So that's very, very cool. So if you missed out on your chance to get a Nacho wallet, you got a chance to do so now. And these sort of developments again are just going to help. Well, this sort of thing is going to, because Tangent's not a small company. They're quite a well-known cold storage company, one of the most popular in this sector. So with them having a Nacho genre, a Nacho limited, Nacho Tangent wallet, that will help in Nacho's adoption going forward as well. Nacho have already confirmed that they have 3 listings potentially on the way. One is a US based, one is going to do it for free, and one was a very, very small fee. So again, we're going to see more and more adoption coming to Nacho, which will help Kaspa's price as well. Right now we can see Kaspa currently down 3.28% on the daily time frame. I'll be so for real, if I weren't streaming right now, I would be buying some. I really would be right now, entering this bottom support level, and there's a chance we may see it going a little bit further, but I mean, it's tough to say again because we are technically in October. I did buy some yesterday at this dip here, and now it's coming down more. I didn't put my whole bag in when it went down here, but I'm potentially going to go down a little. As it comes down more, I'm going to put more and more of my bags in. The stuff that I have just sitting in my wallet, just waiting. So yeah, this is I'm not saying it's the great opportunity to buy Kaspa. I'm saying with what's happening right now, Kaspa and crypto. I mean, there's also a post I saw from Dr. Martin Hyperweg, which I'm going to get him up right now, where he was showcasing that maybe it's the reverse mountains, the peach, if you will. I'm not sure if he's trolling or not, but again, I don't do TA that religiously, so I don't know if it's actually a technical analysis or not. It was just him joking, but we could see we had a Bitcoin come down here, up there, down again, double bottom. Actually, I do know, I lie. It is a double bottom. I know double bottom is a thing. So double bottom's coming down here. And potentially this could be the sign of a breakout. Obviously right now Bitcoin is correcting down to 62,000. But again, we have to just wait and see where it goes. I think we're going to potentially see Bitcoin reverse, but we'll have to wait and see because it did surpass this top here. But I think, Kas again coming down. I'm still, remaining very, very bullish. Of course, right now I can almost guarantee I'm going to have people very, very, very flooding in the chat, which I get. I understand Kaspa has not had the best price action in the past year. But again, Kaspa's coming down even heavier right now, 4.2%. I would be getting some Kaspa right now. If Kaspa comes down further, again, I'll scoop up a bigger bag, personally. And because of what Kaspa's technology is and what it adheres to, basically, with the fact of the matter being that Kaspa has the potential, truth be told, to end Ethereum. I'm going to get into this article in just a moment, but I'm going to answer some questions first. Kaspa Fogelman, welcome back to the stream. Bigger Banger, good morning to you too, sir. Oregano Orchid, good morning. Did you hear about the Change Finance announcement? They're testing launching a KRC20 DEX this week. They talked about it in the X-Space 45 minutes ago. I have not had the chance to watch and listen to the X-Space just yet, so that is news to me, but that is very, very big to hear nonetheless, so thank you for bringing that to my attention. It saves me also having to read through... Well, I mean, I'm going to listen to it either way, but I mean, that's imagine the biggest announcement from the X-Space, so that's very, very cool. Ultimately, again, more adoption comes to KRC20. You know, right now, KRC20, because they haven't got smart contracts, they're having to leverage other DEXs to really, really function to a decent standard. Once we have smart contracts, you know, Kaspa's going to be a completely different story. But without it, for the meantime, that's still a very, very big news. We already have the likes of USDT and USDC and Ethereum through Change already on KRC20. Bitcoin should be coming very, very soon as well. I don't know if you can see them all right now. I'll see if we can see them. What's happening? I'll see if we can see all the tokens right now. I can't say for sure. We do see USDTs there. I'll see if I did see it on a tweet, so I know it's a fact. Yes, we've got CUSDC as well. We got C Ethereum, and do I see Bitcoin already? Yeah, we do. So we have all the two biggest cryptocurrencies and two biggest stablecoin issuers already on KRC20. It's very, very good to see. And in due time, Kaspa will have their own ones, I'm sure, as well, with the likes of what KRI are doing and smart contracts incoming as well. What's the current market cap of Nacho, and how much can it go, in your opinion? Could it do as much as Shiba did? It's a good question, my man. It's a good question. Well, if you look right now, Nacho is currently at just short of 50 million market cap. Volume is 200,000 on 24 hour. It's peaked higher. I think it peaked around 63. Volume of 2 million at one point. The way that I see it from what I know, again, my meme knowledge is growing now. I'll be honest, I have started to look a little bit more into memes because I get asked them so often. I know there's money to be made in them, but I don't get into memes because, again, I just find them quite... It's hard for me to really understand memes because there's nothing inherent, there's no inherent value behind them. But from what I understand about memes, especially with memes that are on specific chains and tokens and projects, for example, Shiba Inu, for the Ethereum chain, I'm pretty sure Shiba Inu, its all-time high market cap was about 1 or 2% of Ethereum's total market cap. I can try and see if I'm right about that. So Ethereum's all-time high here was in and around 13 billion. 27 billion. 27 billion. If we go to Shiba Inu, 1 or 2% of that would be about 4 billion ish. Okay, 32 billion. So I'm trying to do the conversion right now. If it's 32 billion, it's all-time high, and Ethereum's all-time high was at 32 million. Wait, 27 billion. Am I tweaking? I might be tweaking. No, okay. Okay, well, my point was, at least, from what I heard, which, again, seemingly that the Shiba Inu and Ethereum, that doesn't seem to coincide with that, but from what I heard, the meme tokens should do 1 or 2% of the total supply of their project they're listed on, and the project they're built off, basically. So Shiba Inu to Ethereum, Bonk to Solana. So therefore, Nacho to Kaspa, from what I know, if it does 1 to 2% of Kaspa's total market cap, if Kaspa reaches the market cap of 100 billion this cycle, which I think it can do, then Nacho should reach a $1 or $2 billion market cap. Again, full disclosure, I think Nacho could reach a 1 billion market cap in this cycle if it gets the adoption. Again, we are very early with it. We have exchange listings already confirmed from Nacho, but we don't know until they're out yet. We can't say much more. But I think 1 billion is a decent. I think 500 million is very, very likely. I think we'll see a minimum of 500 million for Nacho in the cycle, and with the chance of seeing 1 billion, if not higher. But I'll be full disclosure, I'm not a financial advisor for one, and also I'm not the biggest in meme tokens at this current moment in time, so you're better off asking another content creator or someone else who is more well versed with meme tokens to see what they think. because that's currently just what I've heard from other people, so I'm kind of recycling that. I haven't got an opinion on that myself right now. Port workers went on strike today, more pain incoming. Oh wow, for those who are unaware, Cody put in this sort of information into my free Discord server. Shout out to Cody and shout out to the Discord server. Those who want to join us in the chat already, in the description, but he put up this information. I'm trying to scroll up to find it right now. Where here is it this one? No, it's not that one. Where is it? It's basically there are potential strike going to happen around this time. Here it is. Yeah, so it came from the Daily Wire, and if you can see here, you know, here's how a dock worker strike could upend the economy and the election. But ultimately, just talking about the fact that this could be a disastrous thing if they go on strike, because you know they make up a significant amount of the economy. The International Longshore Association represents about 85,000 dock workers nationwide, set to go on strike on October 1st, and according to Cody, apparently they have just gone on strike, which, you know, that will be quite disastrous. That's also potentially why we're seeing crypto and crypto correcting, because that okay, why is it just white screening me? Okay. But yeah, ultimately this is just this is going to slow down the economy. Like a strike would shut down 5 of the North America's 10 busiest ports, so 36 ports in total on East and Gulf Coast, which could cause a massive supply chain issue. So again, just this could be that's also potentially why we're seeing a correction with crypto, because them going on strike affects all financial markets, even just for a day. A day you get a quick recovery potentially, but a day in itself is not good. So if they don't, and the fact of the matter being as well, Joe Biden also stated that he's not going to intervene in the situation, despite the fact that, you know, this is a very, very, you know, countrywide crisis sort of thing. So this is something that he has the power to intervene if he wanted to, but he's not. So in that regard, then he's trying to make sure they fight it out themselves, sort of solve the situation themselves. So this could go on a lot longer, and that could cause more problems as well, which would be a big issue, obviously. Breaking news about Iran missiles. I have not heard about it, my man. I mean, again, I don't know much about it. I don't keep too up to date with it. Early part, all I really hear about it is from what Shai tweets out, which Shai made a little poll yesterday saying people are getting angry at me for my my political views. So I see it either two ways. Put out a poll saying either I keep talking on my Twitter however I want to, or just stop tweeting altogether. And well, of course, the 75 to 25 said just keep tweeting, do what you want, which I think is fair. People who want him to stop, I think is wrong with them personally. Meme mascots typically hit 5 to 10% of their layer 1. Okay, well thank you for the insight. Holistic coding. So yeah, Shiba hit 43 billion when Ethereum hit 559 billion. Okay, well that's good to know. Again, I apologize for whatever misinformation I may have given you. Okay, again, my meme took is not the biggest thing I remember. If that is the case, then in that case, then if Kappa hits 100 billion, then, you know, naturally should hit the chance of hitting 5 to 10 billion market, which would be very, very big. So in that regard, if that is the truth, I'm going to also, again, this information, as much as I, you know, choose to take his word for it, I'm going to also double check this and fact check it, because, you know, I've got to do my own research at the end of the day, as everyone else should. If it's true, then, you know, 1 billion naturally should be easily achievable, because I believe that $1 billion market cap for Kaspa is achievable this cycle, because Kaspa, I think, had the chance to at least flip Cardano in the cycle, reaching $4 at the very, very minimum. Well, ideally around at that point. People are a bit tired from Kaspa not moving at all. Yeah, I get that, and you know, I understand the frustration behind that, but every time I, you know, get a little bit bearish about Kaspa, which is very few and far between, to be honest, but when I do, I just look through what they're developing and what's incoming, and I'm like, oh yeah, you know what, I'm fine. I'll just buy the dip. I just buy the dips each time. Yeah, it's people are speculating for the price to be manipulated, but I think it's also very, very fair, even because it's got good fundamentals that everyone should know. It's got good fundamentals, so people are speculating about it. But I don't know. I think there's a good chance of it, maybe with the mining side of things as well. But ultimately, right now, Bitcoin hasn't really moved a tremendous amount. Like, look at, I mean, obviously, yes, Kaspa's been for a full year pretty much. Bitcoin has been between, you know, 55 to, you know, 65k for, you know, a very, very long time, like 5-6 months or so. So it's just it's the nature of the market right now. Obviously, some projects done better than others, but Kaspa, I think, is just in this cycle right now. And now to get onto the actual point of this stream, before I answer some more questions, is Dr. Martin Heidberg's post here, the waffle on X, the end of Ethereum. I'm not going to read out, the whole article for you, because that would, it'd be a lot. As you can see, it's quite a long article. So I'll summarize it for you the best I can from when I read it. Basically, the article basically just talks about, obviously, the challenges that Ethereum is facing. The challenges that Ethereum are facing, and proposed solutions for Ethereum's future. So the struggles come along the lines of, high fees, which we already know. Every time we try to use ERC20, the fees are extortionate, especially when it's really, really bullish. When meme token was going parabolic, the fees were ridiculous, and I tried to trade at that time as well, and I was having to spend $60 on fees, which was stupid. Also, the fact that Ethereum is centralized, it's centralized its block production. The MEV, which is the maximal extractable value, for those unaware, it can be exploited. There's a lack of scalability for Ethereum. It just has shortcomings, right? Ethereum, of course, is where at for being the creator of smart contracts. That's why it's number 2, and it's a very, very big chain. But technology-wise, Ethereum is actually not. You can't really hold a candle to what other projects in this space can do already. Not to mention what Kaspa can do as well. The competition for Ethereum right now comes with new L1 blockchains, which he also mentioned in here. So the likes of Solana, which are faster and cheaper, although the problem with Solana is that they're also not decentralized, and also their security is much worse. Whereas obviously Kaspa has both those two things as well. And then the solutions that Dr. Martin Heidberg put in this article as well. Which again, full disclosure, this article I'll do it right now also streaming for those who want to read through it themselves whilst I'm talking about it. But this is I'm going to put the article in my free Discord server so those can actually read through it for themselves. The solution proposed by Dr. Martin Heidberg is they could prioritize scaling the main chain to the actual Ethereum chain over the L2 solutions. They can embrace a multi-chain feature where Ethereum is one of many players. They could, democratize development instead of just leaving it to just one person. So actually divvy it out to other developers as well. So it has less influence on just one person, which makes it more decentralized in that aspect as well. Also, try and limit the power of large investors and make sure it's not, going to be so heavily influenced by the whales. Those are pretty much that's kind of a brief summary of what he stated in this article here. The way he sees it, from my understanding, is he doesn't think Ethereum's dead, but it needs to go through quite a drastic change to survive right now, and it's just going to keep being cannibalized bit by bit by other projects. Other projects that are growing up more and more. For example, like XRP, people who don't like XRP, but XRP is growing more and more in its adoption. We've seen stuff with the XRP ledger recently. We've got other news here. Ripple continues to add to their globally licensed portfolio. They now have secured principal approval from financial services licensed in Dubai, from the Dubai Financial Service Authority. So we're growing more and more into XRP, which is good for them. That's a chain that, despite its centralized nature, again, XRP does have security and it does have scalability. Their fees are cheap and they're fast. So people are starting to look towards the XRP ledger a little bit. Solana, of course, is very, very popular, especially with the meme token side of things. Obviously, right now, Solana, again, lack of security, lack of decentralization, but still a very, very big chain. Other chains that seem to be doing quite well for the most part. Tron's quite big, AVAX is quite big. But that's where it comes to Kaspa. Because I think Kaspa ultimately has the potential to, flip them all, especially the likes of Ethereum. I mentioned in the past regarding, obviously you've got the KRC20, which, those who watched my streams again previously, you would have seen that the KRC20 on its initial launch had so much adoption that I think it like 7x'd what Ethereum does on a daily. It had like 13 million transactions on that day of launch. Obviously it's calmed down a lot since then. We can see the transaction volume right now, apart from it peaked here on the 30th on the 24 hour at around 380, but for the most part it's quite low. So yeah, this is what you see. This is obviously how it peaked here on the day at 8.6 million, but in the 24-hour period it peaked at around 13 million right now. Obviously it's dropped down quite considerably since then, but even then it's still, probably doing on average about 150,000, I think it is on average. maybe not a little bit more than that, where Ethereum, of course, does in the millions a day. But I think Ethereum is just, Ethereum's lacking in that regard. When Kaspa gets the adoption going more and more, we'll start seeing Kaspa really start to, take off, I think. Especially what the KRI are doing with Kaspa. We should already know what the KRI are doing with Kaspa. It's very, very, very impressive. And then, of course, which I'm going to also load this up again, is regard to smart contracts. Let me get it up on my... Let me get it up onto my... Get it for my server real quick. Okay, I need to go and find it. Give me a moment. Sorry, I didn't preload this, what I should have done. Here it is. Okay, so this is what I put out from Chris Kang, so the co-founder of Kasplex's team, putting out basically just an understanding of Kaspa ZK opcodes that will become the end game effectively for Kaspa, but also again it also coincides with being the end game for Ethereum, in my opinion, because again ZK opcodes, as you can see, it's like it seemingly increases certain it seems increasingly certain that smart contract transactions will be computed off-chain with Kaspa L1 layer using ZK opcodes to verify these state changes. Ultimately, we're just seeing the growth in more and more in the wanting to know more about Kaspa, the smart contracts incoming. And Chris Kang talked about Ethereum as a comparison. Ethereum's L2 solutions rely on their respective sequences to collect and order transactions. And, they quick submitted an Ethereum's L1 smart contract for quick verification, but they have now become centralized, which is a problem. That's also why Ethereum is going to struggle in the long term, because they lack the decentralized nature, the decentralized nature that, many projects don't have that in this space, but Ethereum, of course, is one of them. And other L2 solutions as well. They might have, they basically diversified from their L1 to an L2 to achieve scalability. Although, as Dr. Martin Hartberg put in this article here, even the scalability is still lackluster. It's not that great. But they did it by compromising security again, not being decentralized. And this is also an inherent problem, something that Kaspa is solving and has solved already. And just imagine what Kaspa can do after the Crescendo upgrade next year, 10 BPS. Right now, Kaspa at its launch, can handle 300 transactions per second. At 10 BPS, it can handle 3,000. 300 to 3,000 is a very, very big jump. And that is going to be very, very crucial for Kaspa going forward. Again, we are very, very early, right? We've got Kaspa. We've just Kes20 launched just 2 weeks ago. 10 PPS migration happening right now. Still no tier 1s. All these sort of things are going to make Kaspa a much more dominant project. And with the developments coming more and more, the KRI introducing project-wise to Kaspa, to KII, we're going to see, a significant adoption and a shift, I believe, with Kaspa in the institutional sector and also retail as well. Kaspa already has sufficient speed for processing transactions. 10PS will make it even better. And any L2 could utilize the zero-knowledge virtual machine that could potentially use Kaspa as a decentralized sequencer. He ultimately finishes off this whole thread here, talking about the fact that Bitcoin is too slow and lacks the ZK opcodes. Ethereum's L1 smart contracts can verify ZK proofs, but they're limited by TPS. And existing L2 solutions, so the ones out there, might not want to give up their centralized sequencer schemes because they already generate income ranging from hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars a month. So you have the likes of Solana and other major chains that have their centralized nature, but they won't want to switch to decentralized because what they have for them already works. They're making the money, so they don't want to innovate anymore because they're making the money. That's why Ethereum stayed quite stagnant for a very, very long time, because it's making the money, it doesn't need to. But with Kaspa coming out, potentially threatening all of that, they're either going to have to adapt or they'll be cannibalized. Kaspa, with its ability to verify ZK proofs, will become the infrastructure for the entire blockchain world. Of course, it's the Kaspa co-founder that's going to be a bias behind that, but I'm talking about Kaspa for the reason that I believe this, and I'm sure you're in the stream as well because you also believe this to be truth as well. What Kaspa's got incoming is going to be very, very big. Smart contracts, ZK opcodes are going to be crucial for Kaspa going forward, and that will be a key part, in my opinion, to let Kaspa inevitably flip Ethereum. Now, where Ethereum end comes, we don't know. We'll probably see other chains take precedent first, maybe XRP Ledger, maybe Solana, maybe Tron, maybe the XLM Stellar chain. See other chains probably step up first before Kaspa has the adoption it needs to then start making some real significant moves. Again, the KRI announced Warp Core and other major projects like Asset Mint as well. These sort of projects that will allow Kaspa to compete with, if not even flip, what Ethereum's doing, but also what Ripple XRP are doing as well. So when we see corrections in price right now, Kaspa now 15.36, down 3.22. I'm not remotely worried. If anything, I'm happy. And the moment the stream's done, if it goes down any further, I will probably scoop up some more, truth be told. But my man, welcome back to the stream. What do we know about KI energy sector companies? How will they cause an increase of Kaspa price? A good question. Well, I don't know if I have the post on hand, so it's going to sound like I'm just saying trust me, bro, but I'm trying to think where I put the post up. But there was a post basically. Let me get it up actually. I think there's one post I can showcase already, which is KII. It was KII and talking about the fact that they're already utilizing Kaspa in the back end already. I'm trying to find it. I had to go to my weekly section. I think I'm going to find it here. Sorry, just give me a moment. I should have preloaded this, I know. Yeah, here it is. Okay. So yeah, this post here coming from the KRI, they already confirmed, the beauty of Kaspa's industrial initiative, the KRI, is a behind the scenes integration. While the videos might seem nice and glittery, the videos here talking about the event that just happened and what they're trying to do, the carbon offset, all this sort of stuff. The real action is happening in enterprise backends where the Kaspa tech is being woven right now into the fabric of large-scale operations. So already, if we speak right now, Kaspa being woven into the backend of systems. And then, as we had confirmed in this roundtable from Rory O'Neill, Rory O'Neill took a part of it from the KRI. He stated at the 41-minute, 45-second mark, the energy sector is one of the most valuable on the planet. Emissions markets by 2030 should be valued around $2 trillion a year. That is quite considerable. And he also stated after that, the underlying assets are extremely valuable and they need Kaspa scalability and decentralization and security for these projects they want to do to work. So the KI energy sector companies, they end up utilizing Kaspa in their projects they have going on with the Warp Core project, with the Asset Mint projects, with the Olive Chain, all the other projects they have that I mentioned and I showcased again. We tweeted this one a little while back. Looks like my PC is struggling today. As we can see, it's been really, really slow. Wait, I'm in my homepage. Why am I on my homepage? Yeah, I retweeted this. A kind of summary of everything that's going on, all the projects going on to KRI. But all these projects are going to help in, they're going to be utilizing Kaspa in the back end of all these projects, as this, they're using their technology and their asset as a medium of exchange, so to speak, and that will therefore increase the adoption coming to Kaspa, which will therefore inherently increase its price going forward as well. Let me just try and get the image so I can find it. So this project here, so stablecoins, finance, integration, carbon and energy trading, the banking and DeFi sector, financing, real-world asset tokenization, airspace management, and insurance platform. It came from Micro here. The Warp Core, Gigawatt stablecoin, KRI Academy, ZETX, Cash Union, CAF MIF, and CAS PIP, Olive Chain, Airspace 3D, and Asset Mint. Some of these projects I'm very excited for. The biggest ones being Gigawatt stablecoin, of course, Warp Core, very, very big. I also really, really like the look of Asset Mint, an institutional grade platform, so institutions, on Kaspa, designed to tokenize high value assets like real estate, private equity, and commodities. That is a massive, massive deal. If Kaspa ends up tokenizing, gold, that's also something I want to talk about as well. We've got a post I had up here. Is it this one? Yeah. Post from Smoke here, institutional timeline for gold prices. So in September, so this last month, UBS made this paper, 26th September, so just like a week ago, not even a week ago now, titled Gold Raising the Forecast, right? And basically it's just talking about the price of gold by the end of 2025. The fact of the matter being that right now it's peaked around $2.62,000 and it's projected to be reaching as high as 2.9 September 2025. So about 9 months to a year from now, which is quite a considerable jump for commodities. That's quite a big jump for gold, truth be told. And it basically is a very bullish outlook, as Smoke quotes here, that kind of explains where we're going to see the market go from here, with gold rising more and more and gold and crypto going hand in hand, with everything becoming tokenized and therefore gold being on chain. Also XRP, they just had one of their partners, or someone who are called Mel Gold, I think it is. They had just started tokenizing gold and XRP right now. They introduced a stable coin for silver and gold on the XRP ledger. We're seeing gold becoming more of a back end for the blockchain space. So the increase of gold will help in that aspect as well. So yeah, when you're going to see stuff, where's the post? Here. So yeah, when we're talking about, tokenization of commodities, so gold and silver that come into Kaspa potentially as well, asset mint, real estate of course, very big market, and private equity as well. All these things come into Kaspa, which makes me very, very excited. What the KR are doing for Kaspa is going to be an influential thing to help its price going forward. But unfortunately, again, my PC, man, jeez. Unfortunately, people are, again, I understand the sentiment behind it, but people are very, very emotional for the most part. And, they get flustered at the price changes so quickly. And I think it's really beneficial for those to really take a further outlook, just take a step back and look at the market from a long-term perspective and, remain logical in this aspect. Right now, you see Kaspa coming down. Is that worrying? Maybe. You can be worried about it, but then when you see what the KI are doing for Kaspa, which this stuff will take years to incorporate, some might come out in the next few months. Some will take years to incorporate. Next bull cycle, if not after that, maybe. It'll take a very, very long time. When that happens, this is going to be ridiculous. You're going to think that was so cheap. Why did I not get in here? That's currently where my headspace is at, and there's a lot more coming to in this space. Again, to prove what's happened to Ethereum. Kaspa has the development already to, challenge Ethereum with smart contracts. It will be able to properly challenge it and actually probably take precedent, take over it. And there's a lot coming to Kaspa, and then what's happening to crypto as well leads me to believe that we're going to start seeing increased developments in this space, which will allow the liquidity to flood into the market more and flood into assets like Kaspa. But it needs the institutional adoption, and also the adoption in general. It's still got no tier ones. It's very, very big catalyst that will help Kaspa's adoption going forward as well. And before, more of a personal question, I was thinking of starting an investment channel to show my journey and show news like you do. I hate the sound of my voice though, but I hope people enjoy it. I mean, go for it, my man. I'll be so for real, I hate my voice as well. You can probably tell today this stream, I had a very, very tough morning and a tough last day, and I'm trying, but I'm really lacking energy today. I'm messing up a lot of my words, and I'm struggling. And it's this part I get really self-conscious about it. But ultimately, my man, like, if you want to just go for it, go for it. Like, if you're doing it for the sake of just kind of wanting to spread information and just doing it because you want to be helpful, then fine, go for it. Like, I do what I do, and I've been doing it for enough time now, being dedicated enough to where I do get a little bit rewarded for it, and hopefully you'll continue in that fashion. But for the most part, yeah, if you want to, make an investment channel and just start, showcasing your journey and just spread news like I do, then yeah, I think more power to you, my man. I think you should definitely go for it. I think it's a very good thing to do. I think we need more people in this space who are not just, shillers and hype beasts and whatever those people are, just people who are actually trying to inform people about the space and trying to go forward. It's not your voice, man. Like, I get it, but you got to understand sometimes it's more of a personal thing than actually it is. I hate my voice, but I've been told numerous times it's fine, but it's just a self-conscious thing. But you got to understand that if you want to just talk about it, you talk about it. So I wouldn't worry about it. I think you should go for it, my man, truthfully. What's up, Leo, my man? Welcome back to the stream. Capital consolidation for 8 months now. It is pumping in the millions market cap, not billions perhaps, as crypto market. It's about venture capitals and connection to market makers and exchanges. I mean, this market is definitely going to be driven by institutional adoption. Definitely. I don't doubt that. And again, Kaspa's adoption has been very, very limited because, again, we have no tier ones. I think, again, I have to say every stream because, it's something that I don't think people, I guess, fully grasp the sheer significance tier 1 listings can do for a project. All projects in the top 100 on CoinMarketCap, we can see all projects in this top 100 have a tier 1 listing of some sort. From Kraken to Binance to Coinbase to Gemini, you name it. Every single one here has a tier 1 listing, but Kaspa. Without it, Kaspa's adoption is much more limited. It can only move so much. Once it has tier 1 listings, then people who actually, are less people who don't want to utilize the L banks or the Pionexes, the MEXCs or the other smaller exchanges, they don't want to utilize that. They can only use Binance and Coinbase. They don't want to use those two. When Kaspa gets those, it'll be different, completely different story. Those are the ones we need to look out for. We're very, very early again. If you have lack of faith in Kaspa, as Mr. Miles puts it, look at the hash rate as well. It's a proof of work project. Proof of work project that right now, its hash rate is still maintaining a very solid ground of around now 1.11 EH. To put in perspective, in July, so about 2.5 months ago from now, it was at 3,400. Then Marathon announced that they're diversifying into Kaspa, and it shot up to 1 EH in like 2 months, and it's been around here for the past month or so. With some dips here and there, yes, but for the most part, it still stayed up here. With adoption coming in more and more, of Kaspa growing more and more in what they're building, with more miners coming out, Ice making more announcements as well, we're going to start seeing more hash rate going up as well, and that's going to help Kaspa's price in due time. Again, hash rate is not going to... An increase in hash rate doesn't mean you're going to see a price rise like that, but they do correlate, they do go in unison, because hash rate showcases the increase in security of a project, while also it shows the increase in security and adoption of a project. So you're seeing the increase in hash rate, you mean you're seeing more miners getting involved in the project, and it also means it's more secure. So that's a very good thing for a proof of work project to see. Very, very good thing. Validate on BNB, huge Kappa holder, but make sure you diversify those bags. Still buying more Kaspa. I mean, yeah, good for you, my man. Good for you. Yeah, right now, I think meme tokens are still actually going quite crazy. That's also why I've been looking a little bit more into them now, because as much as I don't like meme tokens, I've got to start being a bit biased. I'm going to start looking into, other ways to make money where I can. Especially in this cycle, though, if I want to try and make quick flip money, maybe it's worth looking to meme tokens again. When I say I start, I've just started. Like, I barely have any knowledge in it. And that's also why I created my free Discord server, again, shameless plug, but free Discord server where I'm trying to build knowledge about crypto, market sentiment, stuff like that, and Kaspa, of course, definitely Kaspa, but it's also just all about crypto. So it means talk about other meme tokens, other real world assets, other AI projects, gaming projects. Gaming is going to be one that I'm going to get into a lot heavier. I have picked up some gaming projects already as they're dipping more and more. GFAL came down quite heavily yesterday, and I might get into that in a moment, because I don't know, I feel like it might not come down further, but I have to wait and see. But looking forward to again, one of my favourites. I'm going to get into those more and more in due time as well. Everyone told me this was the month of October. It's just started, my man. You can't expect just green, green, green all the way up. You'll start seeing more green action. I personally believe you'll start seeing some more green in the latter half of October. And again, as Cody mentioned, and showed, like we had this announcement here. This is probably one of the main catalyst reasons behind the correction in crypto's market. And I haven't checked other financial markets, but I imagine it's quite similar across the board. Because this is quite significant. These workers went on strike today. They've threatened about it. They called a bluff and they got on strike. And by them going on strike, it shut down 5 of North America's 10 busiest ports. So it's going to affect supply chains, and that's going to affect the economy coming in and out. That's why we're going to start. I mean, this could change again, but as history has shown us time and time again, when we've seen green months in September, which we saw 11%. In September, it has every single time correlated to a green month in October, December, and November. I said that wrong. October, November, and December. So, we might off to a slow start, but I'll turn tide very, very soon, I'm sure. 100% of election years have gone green in October, November, December. When it's election years, 100%. So you'll start seeing some green building up to the elections, and then after the elections as well, you'll see the real kick start then as well. Especially because now you're going to see even more rate cuts. Fed Bostic says he's open to another 50 basis interest rate cut in November. We're seeing the banks, adoption growing more and more. Starting today, large banks must now meet new requirements that fit into the global change in the regulatory framework. We're talking about Basel III right now. All banks now must ensure they have enough liquidity to weather financial storms. Enough backing. So they, when something crashes, normally you have the Fed bail them out. It's not that case anymore. You've got to have it for yourself. So you're not compliant that you're in problem. Robinhood now allows European customers to transfer Bitcoin to their exchanges in their own wallets. The $7.1 trillion asset manager Charles Schwab is open to offering crypto trading if laws change. So again, if the laws change, regulations come into play, we're going to see massive asset managers, big institutions starting to get more and more involved in crypto. Japanese public company Meta Planet buys 1 billion yen worth of Bitcoin. Like we are all the signs are showing that we're still going to see a very, very bullish cycle in Q4 and 2025. It's just we're still very, very early. Well, we're not very early anymore. No, we are early at the Bitcoin halving. We are early in the bear cycle. We are very early then. Now I'd say we're still early. We haven't witnessed a pump yet, but saying that, the fact that I can say we're early and Bitcoin's at 62k is crazy. The fact that I can say we're early and Bitcoin's at 62k is actually insane. Like saying we're early should be something I say down here. if not earlier, back in 2023. But the fact that we are still in, we're in 2024, Q4, Bitcoin's at 62k, and I could still say we're early, and I believe that because of how much money is meant to be coming into the cycle, like, at least from what I believe, from what I've heard. That's, again, why I'm so bullish in crypto. That's why I believe, obviously research into other projects. I love Kaspa, it's my biggest holding by far. But I look at other projects as well, because I think most projects have decent chance to, increase in value, and some have bigger gains as well. The smaller cap projects, especially, but I think most projects are going to do very well in the cycle. Also, I'm looking at XRP again. I know, talk about very limited, but XRP, they are 6 days away from potentially seeing an appeal or no appeal from the SEC. A no appeal, in my opinion, will likely cause quite a significant price rise. An appeal would probably cause XRP to come down again, which if it does, then cool, fill a bag if you want to. I don't think I will, because I don't care too much about falling. I'll probably feel a little bit, but XRP is not one I'm not. My XRP bag I've put in there and I've ignored it. Kaspa, I'm more active in watching it. Although saying that again, I kind of just put it there and ignored it because I hold Kaspa long term, 10 plus years, so it doesn't bother me either way. So it's a dumping coming seemingly, but I think it's just temporary. I think we'll see a reversal in due time, personally. The news seems to suggest that much as well. There's a lot of good news coming throughout the markets with all crypto. The global liquidity has reached new all-time highs once again. The point of this being is that when this regulations get laid out, you're going to see this global liquidity start flooding onto chains, onto the markets. With rate cuts coming in more and more, easing the pressure on the economy, this liquidity will start flooding into the market. So with it hitting new all-time highs more and more, it means that once you have these regulations and laws coming out, which, by the way, 90% of all rules and regulations should be enforced before or by 2025. In the next 3 months is when we're going to start seeing all of it come out. I'll try and find the source and put it in my Discord server for those who want to check it out for themselves, because it's not me just saying that's quoted. It's documented from the institutional papers that we're going to see all this, all this regulatory clarity and stuff hopefully coming before the end of this year, 90% of it. And that's when you're going to start seeing this liquidity starting to ease into the market more and more. We're going to see multiple trillions of dollars injected into it, which we'll see crypto jump from 2.21 to 5 trillion in just 3 months, which would be insane. And also, I talked about it later. It's meant to be an overall positive month. So it's going to be, green the whole way up. It means that we'll probably see some down stuff here, but it will end positive. That's what October means. It just means we're going to see, a bullish month. It's gonna like, historically speaking, it is going to be a bullish month at the end of it. So you'll make profit, even if you hold Bitcoin. So easy to be emotional in this game. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Do we want to see an price explosion? Of course we do, but I'm confident our day will come. Yeah, I couldn't have said it better. Being emotional in trading is very, very easy, especially if you're a meme token trader. Meme token trading is very, very easy to be emotional because that's kind of where meme tokens kind of function more than memes, not logic. Kaspa logically is going to do well because of its technology. Memes logically are going to do well because it's a dog with a hat. Like, I don't see the logic behind that. I guess it's funny or it's cute, but I don't see the logic behind that right now. I think it's always worth, I understand the sentiment behind being, worrisome about crypto. But if you're worrisome about crypto, then just, research. Or you can, like, every time I'm in a spot of bother and I'm not sure what's happening and I'm worried about something and I'm unsure, I just research what I can to try and find a better answer for myself, give myself some clarity. Clarity is, as we can see in America, with lack of clarity, it's caused mayhem. SEC is not providing any crypto clarity. Without clarity, you are in disarray. You need clarity. You need to research and find your own information for yourself. Thank you very much, Kimberly, my man. Thank you very much, Kimberly. Thank you very much for, well, I try. I try. I am really struggling today. But I guess, when I'm going, 62 streams strong every single day, I think I'm allowed to have one day where I'm a little bit lackluster. I apologise. Hopefully tomorrow will be much, much better. The news, again, is still good. Again, I still think that this post from Dr. Hardwick is very, very big, talking about, potential end of Ethereum, what's the shortcomings of it, and I believe that Kaspa had the potential to do that much with what the KRI are doing, with what this incoming smart contracts that will happen, in the next, year or two. Like, this sort of stuff, I think Kaspa's going to make it really, really dominant in this space. And hopefully I'll provide the energy and hype and, the bullish news tomorrow. Hopefully we'll see some good announcements coming out tomorrow as well. Definitely. Fair launch requires patience from retail investors. Kaspa has so many big irons in the fire with institutions. Retailers focus on daily charts, exchange listing, and big pumps. Yeah. As I mentioned, we are going into a cycle right now with institutions are taking more of a role. They're finally getting involved for the first time ever. That's a very, very big deal. What institutions want is regulatory clarity, which we're waiting for. Not to mention as well, proof of work. Again, if you look at Bitcoin's chart, Bitcoin didn't take off straight away. Bitcoin didn't take off. Bitcoin didn't get to 62k overnight. It took a very, very long time. Kaspa has been out for 3 years, launching in the peak of the bull cycle and went into one of the worst bear cycles in history. And its chart still looks like this. That is, that's not something to scoff at. That's a very big deal. Retail people, like, the general investor, people like you and me, for the most part, will look at just, exchange list. When you ask me about a project, right? Again, when anyone asks me about a project, what do? Go into the chart, look at this, look at the market cap, look at the volume, see if there's enough adoption in the project, the supply, and then listings. That's all I can do. As a quick, if I want to do more research, if I want to really, really get into a project, I'll then look into the back ends. Okay, what's the project about? What they're building? Who their partnerships? Do they have any VCs? Are they decentralized? All this sort of stuff that is important. Are they a proof of work? Yes. Do they claim to be decentralized? Do they have ICOs? If they do, then I don't like the proof of work. Like, if I look, like, people ask me about project, that's all I can do as a retailer. But entering into the market of institutions, once you get this clarity in, you're going to start seeing this adoption really shift in this space. Retail, all I can do is look at this. But again, I look at this. Yeah, if I look at this with Kaspa, I'm like, okay, it's doing well, but why is it so high? If I looked at Kaspa right now without any knowledge of it, and I see, okay, 28, 4 billion market cap, that's his chart. Okay, that chart's insane. Volume's at 44 million, that's not bad. Supply, okay, proof of work, fair launch, okay, that's quite cool, nice sentiment behind it. But the listings, okay, that's quite cool, but why is it not got any tier ones yet? How's it so high with no tier ones? That's my thought process would be. How's it so high by tier ones? That's ridiculous. That's what the retailer mind normally is. What you do when you do basic research. Very, very on the surface research is just looking at this chart, looking at CoinMarketCap and just doing that. Then when you want to get into a project, what you should do then is you find this enough to be like, okay, it's quite interesting. Then you go onto your Twitter or your just Google, whatever, you just type in about Kaspa. Or you go onto YouTube and just look at what you're doing right now. Listen to some random guy on the internet talk about Kaspa and telling you why he believes it's going to do so well. Or she. Don't discriminate. That's all it is. You've got to be patient. Don't be emotional, be logical, be patient, do your research. That's all it is. If you've done the research, if you listen to this stream and you've looked at all these sources that I've showcased, what's incoming still for Kaspa, then the adoption coming for Counter-20 tokens, the adoption coming for crypto, all over the place, you're going to realise that crypto's bull run is starting. It's down, yes, in October, but it's starting. And Kaspa has a lot in development incoming with the KRI, with smart contracts, you name it. It's just early. The fact that you can say it's early is ridiculous. Kaspa's near its all-time high. Bitcoin is near its all-time high, and I can still say it's early because I think Kaspa's got a massive amount of profit to make from here, from this point onwards. Kaspa versus Bitcoin. Very, very few, if any, project in this space has got this chart. More importantly, Kaspa is a proof of work, like Bitcoin, pretty much adhering to what Bitcoin's doing. And despite its backtracking, it's still 90% up from its launch against Bitcoin. And again, we still haven't seen the level of adoption of tier ones we need. With those tier ones, this is going to jump up. And Kaspa's going to end up being like 150, not 200% higher than Bitcoin. Kaspa's ROI, return of investment in this cycle, is, in my opinion, much higher than Bitcoin's. Bitcoin, I think, will hopefully, but max peak at 250k. Kaspa, I think, had the potential, therefore, to be peaking around $6, $7. More realistically, 4 or 5. And bearish, 2, 3. But either way, even if it's bearish 2, 3, that's still, a 10x. Bitcoin 10x. Bitcoin's not 10x in this cycle. Kaspa could 10x and be $1.50. That's better ROI than Bitcoin. Of course, an altcoin, so it makes sense. But point being is, with Kaspa being basically the Bitcoin 2.0, imagine actually getting it early at Bitcoin. That's ultimately what I'm trying to just say. Imagine getting early at Bitcoin. It's a very, very big deal. I'm trying to look at some more questions. I apologize. Just about why is Bitcoin falling at the moment? From mine, I mean, again, it's quite tough to say. From what my knowledge, again, is comes down to what we spoke about in my free Discord server, which I think you're a part of, Charles. They spoke about it last week, 23rd of September. This article put out by the Daily Wire talking about dot worker strikes could go up and upend the economy. Ultimately, today, 1st of October, the dot workers did go on strike, which means that 5 of North America's 10 busiest ports, 36 ports in total across the eastern Gulf Coast, have now been shut down because they haven't got enough people to work them. The strike has caused that to happen, so that's caused a massive supply chain issue, so the economy is now a bit of a stifle from that, and that's causing... I believe that's the reason why we're seeing an effect on the market. That's why I believe it's happening right now. I follow the KRI partners Jane Street, BlackRock, and other institutions, not fudsters, trying to make quick pumps to move out of their parents' basement. Yeah, exactly. I mean, obviously, yeah, I don't know how to dig at me, Andy, but no, I get what you mean. Yeah, if you want to really understand about a project, you follow the money. You follow the big people, BlackRock, Jane Street. You follow the KRI have massive partners. You know, their partnerships with the DII, the people, the like venture of KRI, their partnerships like the Shell, DHL, Hyundai, I think IBS as well. Massive companies. And what they're doing is, if they're trying to get involved with Kaspa, then I think our Kaspa's going to do very well then. You know, I'm not going to listen to, some next crypto YouTuber. Well, again, that's me, but I mean, again, if a YouTuber's talking about something, I'll listen to what he says and use that as my inspiration to then do more research. But I won't just take his... You should never take anything at face value. Especially when you come into investing. Investing is very, very dangerous. Don't take it at face value. Listen to what I say. Try and take to the message I'm trying to portray, which is Kaspa's got a lot in coming, and then do the research yourself. It's not like I don't, and I try to help out where I can. I don't just say it and just say, trust me, bro. I show sources. Source here, KRI putting this about the fact that they've already got Kaspa tech being woven into the fabric of the large-scale operations as we speak. Chris Kang talking about all this information again. I put in my free Discord server, so you can find it for yourself. I have a daily tab there where I talk about information in there daily, or put in what I can daily into that. Also, then have a weekly tab for those who join late to the server. You can check out the weekly tab or even the monthly tab to get a kind of wrap up of everything that's really, really big that's happened in the server in the last news in the last 2 months. So it's a great place to hopefully find information, and then you can use that as a way to help spur you to then learn how to find your own information and then share it for all of us, because all of us right now are just trying to learn. That's ultimately what we're trying to do, learn to make as much money as we can in this space to what will be a very, very big bull cycle. I only seem to believe there's also usual volatility that happens after the FOMC announcement. Friday there is an announcement. That could be it, but never know. Yeah, I mean, it could also be that FOMC announcement coming in, but I think it also could be the doc thing as well, because that seems to be quite a big collapse. Is it possible that Marathon might front the Kaspa for an exchange to line their own pockets? I mean, I guess anything's possible, but I think it's quite unlikely personally. I think it's quite unlikely. Yeah, I mean, there's another. I think I don't think it's an actual event, if I'm not mistaken. I think the next FOMC meeting's in November, if I'm mistaken. Is there one actually happening this Friday? Let me check, because I don't think there's meant to be one that's happening. When is the next FOMC meeting? This is November, so if there's one happening Friday, either that's a surprise announcement, or it's just like them talking about what they plan to do. Yeah. Also the Chinese economy as well. They've got to keep that in mind. The Chinese economy, the stimulus packet that's come in has caused a massive surge in that market, but that's also affected other markets as well. That's also one point to note. The big thing as well, with crypto growing more and more in adoption, with regulations being rolled out, Kaspa and crypto in general, they're now going to start getting affected more by market sentiment. Back in the past, a few years back, last bull cycle more so, what would matter for a project is hype and what they're building. But even less so what they're building, just hype, what the project's about. Like, that's why meme tokens have always been very, very good, because it's all been about hype. Now, with institutions getting more and more involved, it's more about what the project's building. Less about hype now. I mean, still hype's still relevant, of course, and it probably will still be relevant in the whole time, but what they're building. And also, it comes down to, because it's going more and more for institutions, it's now getting affected more by central bank monetary policies. Monetary policies now have more effect than they have ever done before in crypto. So when, with the policy structure, you'll see crypto acting accordingly, and soon enough it will probably act like all other financial markets, maybe slightly more volatile, but more like other financial markets. And Kaspa, I believe, will be one of the bigger earners in that cycle as well. Greens Beaverman, welcome back to the stream. It's just job data announcement on Friday, not FOMC schedule. Okay, yeah. So either way, job data is important, because what you've seen as well is job data, unemployment rates, they kind of coincide with the yield curve. I'm going to get up the post so people know what I'm talking about right now. Search yield curve. So we've got this post. We've got a few posts about them ultimately. I've spoke about it quite a few times. This post here from Professor Saint Onge. And then we got this post as well, which this post here I think explains it the best. I made a thread about this in my Discord server, basically just talking about it. It just basically explains, historically, the longer the yield curve remains inverted, the worse the recession/stock drawdown is when it uninverts. And what affects the yield curve is the unemployment rate. And that also then affects, how bad the markets are, and also it also represents how bad the markets are, and that also then influence the Fed's decision on how severe they want to cut the rates. So if the unemployment rate is still going down, which I probably believe it is, and the data comes back even worse than it should have been, we'll probably see, an increased chance of there being another 50 basis point cut, which will see, more alleviation on the market, so more bull pumps. But again, it also kind of reinstates the belief that there won't be a soft landing. It's going to be more, correcting the price coming in the very near future. Just watched Paul Van Son's keynote speech. Okay, I think mega bullish. Oh yeah, I still got to listen to that. Yesterday was just manic for me, as you can probably hear my voice. But yeah, I want to listen to it. I've got it already in my server again to listen to. But I've already read through the summary from Micro, kind of what happened, and even this alone is very, very bullish. So I can't wait to see these projects get rolled out for Kaspa. Kaspa will hit minimum of $5. I have no doubt about it. I would like to believe that. I think $5 is possible. My minimum is 2-3, because I gotta think worst case. For whatever reason, no regulations get rolled out, and nothing, and Kaspa gets no tier ones. That's worst case. I think we'll see $2. But with what is incoming, which I think is very likely to happen, I think we'll see $4 or $5 Kaspa, and higher highs from this point onwards as well. Kaspa, people who are following Kaspa are going to be very, very quiet or turn tail completely when Kaspa starts pumping. There's no doubt about that in my mind. Thanks for all the info you sift through us all to help out Ray and stuff. Well, you're welcome, my man. I mean, I try. Of course, yeah, I try to sift that information, but you should always research it yourself, just to be sure for yourself, because, I mean, I do what I can. That's always what I do what I can. That's my role as an educator, to try and help, try and bring some clarity to the space where seemingly right now clarity is lacking. That's ultimately what it is. Everyone, it's always worth building your knowledge to help you, because I truly believe that knowledge is power, and knowledge, it pays to be knowledgeable. So with that, if you understand more about financial markets, about crypto, about Kaspa, you can make your better decisions with what you want to invest into. And if you want to find out more, again, it's not. I mean, you obviously listen to me talking about this, but you want to hear other people who have their own opinions. They might be similar to mine or different to mine. That's also where you can join my free Discord server to hear about it for yourself. Because in the server, it's a server where everyone can express their beliefs and talk about it, spread their opinions. We have seemingly like a weekly debate between some of my more trusted members, which is normally other side of the spectrum. Shout out to Cody and Mr. Miles. But either way, it's still, I let them debate it out and try and come to their own conclusions. Because it's worth people, there's no point in trying to suppress innovation and suppress knowledge. You just want to try and, help everyone learn when they can. That's what the server's there for. People to interact with each other, but also to learn through other information sources that you could put in yourself or I put in myself. And other crypto projects that we're going to talk about in the very, very near future. As Cody says, yep. Special light burn if you enjoy the stream. Be doing these for 63 days, and I need it today because I'm knackered. Special light burns if you enjoy the stream. Share with your friends and family to get them involved in Kaspa and crypto, and subscribe for more if you're new to the stream and new to the channel. Power law says around $1.50. Yeah, the power law says lower end $1.20, average $1.50, and upper end $3. But the reason, I think a power law is a good indicator, but it's not a do or die. The power law just takes into account the emission schedule. Power law is just priced over time, which is important for proof of work, definitely, but with where the market's going, with institutional adoption and everything else, I think it's bigger than that. We're going to see more money flood into that. Kaspa is going to probably end up taking up quite a portion of that thanks to the KRI and what they're already building. So power law is important. I do think that's why I treat power law as like, okay, so power law says $1.50 on average. but then I've got to take into account the institutional adoption coming in as well. Okay, in that case, then I think we'll end up seeing much higher. You know, I think we'll see Kaspa hit lower end at the top of the power law $3. I think Kaspa hit but lower end $3 and maybe higher from that with institutional adoption, with tier 1 listing incoming, with the development of KRC20, which again it doesn't take into account the KRC20 or 10 bps migration. Other very key factors. Crypto had its best September in history. Funny how October starts off slow. Yeah, I know. October starts very slow, but at the same time September also ends up being very bullish, especially when it comes to the election years. Do you think the power law is applicable with Kaspa since Kaspa's first bull run? I mean, yes. As a proof of work, I think Kaspa's power law is applicable. But I don't think it's a do or die. I think it's an important indicator, but I don't think it's the do or die. I think you've got to look into everything. Power law is one thing I also take into account when I'm making my predictions, if you will. That's why I don't say $10 Kaspa, because I think $10, Power Law says $3, $10 Kaspa seems to me excessive. I'm not saying it's impossible, but it seems excessive. I don't say $15 because that seems ridiculous in the cycle, $15. If it happens, fantastic. I might be wrong, but Power Law says $1.20 to $3 with 150 being the average, or the likely. But then when you take into account the institutional adoption, KRC20, 10 BPS, tier 1s, KRI, and what they've already announced they're doing with Kaspa, and smart contracts that will be coming after the cycle, truthfully, but most likely at least, and then all that other stuff, like that sort of thing, I'm like, okay, I think $3 upper end of Power Law is Kaspa's lower end. But maybe wrong. We have to wait and see where the adoption goes forth from here. No matter how much adoption Bitcoin has had, it was always followed by the Power Law, but has Kaspa maybe different? Maybe. And right now, I think Kaspa is actually technically below the Power Law. The Power Law, I think, has put Kaspa around 20 cents right now. Kaspa's obviously at 16, 15 cents. But we'll have to wait and see. Right now, Bitcoin's the only one to follow the Power Law, and Kaspa's the only one that's done close to following a bit as well. We'll have to see where it goes from here. I think it can. I think it will. And I think Kaspa's then going to exceed it and go above it as well, exploding in price in the future. And hopefully, we'll end up flipping Ethereum with what they're doing with smart contracts and the KRC20 as well. With that being said, that's going to be it for the stream. Thank you everyone for watching. As always, leave a like, share with your friends, go for more. Back again tomorrow, same time, same channel, you know the deal. If you want to know more about crypto, then by all means, please join the free Discord server in the chat right now. I'm going to go and get some sleep, I think. But yeah, thank you for watching. I'll catch